Okay, the first thing I'm going to do as we begin this journey today is I'm going to imagine my physical body is being surrounded by a whirlwind. And the whirlwind is an energy force that reverse physics talks about that connects all of us together and all of us to the collective unconscious. And as I'm surrounding my body with my whirlwind, I'm imagining this energy stretching out across the miles to surround everyone else who is listening to this metawalk both now and into the future. And as I project my whirlwind now, you may be aware of tingling sensations on the surface of your skin as the energy is activated now. And now what I'd like you all to do is just to close your eyes, clear your mind of all the events of the day and the week. Just let them fade away into the background, whilst the conscious mind now begins to slow down, function by function, step by step, and the unconscious mind now begins to rise to the surface. Each breath that you take, each sound that I make, allowing the process of relaxation to gradually begin. Good. And I'm going to give you some nice, simple instructions now that will assist the physical body in completely relaxing. And as the physical body relaxes, so too does the deep unconscious rise to meet the conscious. And to begin this process of relaxation, I'd like you to focus all of your attention onto your forehead. And as you focus on the forehead, I'd like you to imagine you can feel 3 tendons or muscles stretched very tight across the surface of the forehead between the left and the right temples. And these muscles are stretched tight, representing the general stress and tension that we carry around during the day and the week. And as you focus on these 3 tendons, I'm going to count backwards from 3 down to 1. And as I count, I want you to imagine that each tendon or muscle is gradually beginning to relax. And as each muscle relaxes, the conscious mind goes on standby even more, allowing the world of the deep unconscious to rise to the surface more. Okay, now with a count of 3, the first tendon relaxes. Like a rubber band that was once stretched tight, it now begins to hang loose. Good. We count backwards now to 2, second tendon relaxes, conscious mind going on standby even more. As we count down now to 1. Final tendon relaxing, takes anxiety draining completely away now, as a wave of relaxation now begins to flow all through your body. As the muscles in your cheeks relax, muscles around the eyes relaxing, eyelids becoming very heavy now as you sink deeper and deeper and deeper into trance. Good. And your shoulders and arms can relax. Your chest and stomach relaxing, your hips relaxing, your legs, and finally your feet, until the whole body lies perfectly calm, perfectly relaxed, the unconscious mind now preparing to shift and alter in accordance with the images I'm now about to give. Good. And any moment from now, I'm going to be suggesting to you pictures and images for you to create in your mind. And these pictures are going to represent and directly access their deeper core metaphorical structures. And during this process, I'll be asking for the pictures to shift and alter. And as the pictures change, so too do the structures of the unconscious mind change. And this allows a corresponding change in the physical world in which you live. And to begin this journey today, I want you to imagine you are walking through a nice green meadow. And the grass is neat and tidy in the meadow. There's no weeds growing. You can feel the rays of the sun shining down on you from the sky above. Not too hot and not too cold. And as you walk through the meadow, I want you to imagine that you can see the first metaphor to work with in our journey today, and that is the metaphor known as the white she-wolf. And this white she-wolf that you're seeing is my wolf, projected into the journey to lead you on the path. As the unconscious accesses the metaphor of the she-wolf now. Now, the she-wolf starts walking through the field. I want you to follow the wolf, and it leads you to a cobblestone pathway meandering through the meadow. You start walking on that pathway, and walking with you to help you on your journey is a metaphor known as the shaman. As the deep unconscious accesses the shaman metaphor now. Now, as you walk on the meadow, following the she-wolf with the shaman by your side, I want you to imagine you can see herbs growing on either side of the path. Heather and aloe and other herbs growing as you walk. Now the verse will say that there's also potholes littering the path. And these potholes represent anger, frustration, loneliness. And the she-wolf is going to navigate around the potholes. And as you follow the she-wolf, so too do you avoid the potholes in your own life. And then the pathway leads you to a lovely, beautiful garden. And this is the garden known as Eden, the Garden of Eden. You enter the garden, you see lush green fields, animals grazing in the fields, and birds singing in the trees. And the she-wolf is going to lead you down to the river of life that flows through the centre of Eden. You walk upstream to the waterfall that feeds the river, and I want you to lie down under a tree by the waterfall and drift off to sleep. And as you sleep, you're going to experience another journey. And this is like a trance within a trance, or a dream of a dream. And to experience this journey, I'm going to count backwards from 3 down to 1. And as I count, I'd like you to imagine your spirit is leaving your body. You can now, at the count of 3, feel yourself rising in the air. You look down on your body, sleeping below, as your spirit travels to the sky. You float through the clouds, and greeting you in the air is the white she-wolf. The white she-wolf heads off into the outer atmosphere. You follow the she-wolf, and then on the count of 1, you enter the regions of outer space. The she-wolf takes you deeper and deeper, travelling past the moon, past the planets, until all you can see, everywhere you look, is stars. And then your body floats over a land of mist. And built in the middle of this mist is a beautiful crystal city with streets paved with gold. You float over the top of the city and you can hear the sounds of angels singing. You can feel the energy of love emanating from the city. And the sounds of the angels and the energy of love washes through your body, taking away anger, hatred, depression, and allowing peace and tranquility to fill your senses. And now, as you float over the city, you come across a vast valley beyond the city. And there's daisies growing all over the valley, from end to end and width to width. And at the end of the valley, there's a tall mountain. And on top of the mountain is a brilliant white light, shining brighter than the sun. You start to travel towards the light. And as you get closer to the light, you feel this overwhelming sensation of love flooding your senses. The closer you get, the greater the love becomes, until all you can feel is love. And for a brief moment you touch the light. And in that brief moment you understand all knowledge and all mysteries. You understand the power of love. You pull back from the light and you hold your hands together, cupping them in the air. And as you cup your hands, I want you to imagine you are collecting a blue ball of love from the light. It's like a blue ball of light that radiates the energy of love. Now, carefully creating this ball of love in your hands, the love of God, the she-wolf takes you back down to the planet Earth. As on the count of one, you leave the light now. You travel back through space. On the count of two, you re-enter the outer atmosphere of the Earth. And on the count of three, you float down to your body, re-enter your body, and wake up in the Garden of Eden, looking around. And still cradled in your hands is the light blue ball of love. Now, you follow the she-wolf. The she-wolf leads you to the very center of the Garden of Eden. And in the center of Eden, you see a mighty whirlwind spinning around and around. This whirlwind reaches up into the clouds and travels up into the outer atmosphere of the earth. It is the whirlwind of the collective unconscious itself. And what I want you to do is to walk into the center of the whirlwind. And as you stand in the center of the whirlwind, I want you to raise your hands in the air and release the blue ball of love. It rises up the whirlwind, filling the whirlwind with love. It expels hatred and anger. The verse will say there's a witch in the whirlwind. The love expels the witch. It rises higher and higher and higher. It reaches in the outer atmosphere of the earth and it spreads out across all the earth, covering the entire earth in a blue ball of love. As the love of God is now released into the whirlwind of the collective unconsciousness of the planet. And I just want you to hold this image in your mind now, because this is the last image of this journey. And I'm going to count from 1 to 5, bring you back up out of trance, and you'll come back to the room wide awake, fully refreshed, and the unconscious will process all these images over the next few days and weeks. So on the count of 1, just hold the image of the planet Earth covered with the blue ball of love. And as 2, you can allow the unconscious mind to recede back to where it was. As 3, breathing your heart rate gradually begin to return to normal. As 4, conscious mind reawakens. And 5, you can open your eyes and come back to the room wide awake and fully refreshed.